I know it's been a while. I've been sick. I've been very busy. I've been doing videos. I've been doing a lot of things. But I'm back. And there are lots of great things happening. A lot of meetings that have been happening. Very excited about kind of the things that we're doing. Right now, I'm working on with Troizel, who is a happiness boot camp intern. We are working on a special project, a happiness boot camp special ops, which we're calling right now Black Ops. And what it will be is the Happiness Boot Camp. Black Ops is a Happiness Boot Camp curriculum that is based and is geared towards Black students on campus. If you know who I am, you know that I've been very passionate about Blackness, Black wellness, Black well-being, as a student here, and so I'm super excited that I'm getting the chance to really speak to all of the things that I've been concerned with and interested with during my time at Emory, but in a professional setting, being able to develop a curriculum and develop a program that speaks to kind of the issues that Black students on this campus face in different areas. So we're going to be talking about flourishing, of course, wellness, resilience, which I think is super important, this idea called post-traumatic growth, hedonic well-being. We're talking about a lot of different things. We're talking about a redefinition of success, relationships, friendships. We're going to be doing some great activities that I'm incredibly excited about. Talking about the reversal of power dynamics, talking about power and privilege, talking about racism, talking about homophobia, talking about a lot of different things. I'm just super excited about it. It's happening in January, and it's almost November, so we're getting this show on the road. Super excited about that. Yeah, so I am really amped about all of this that is happening. Shout out to Mark, shout out to Bria for everything that they're doing, helping me. I've been reading a lot of theory leading up to this. I'm really excited about, it's a kind of ego development theory called negrescence. And negrescence is a French word that basically means the process of becoming Black. And so I'm really interested in this concept of turning Black or becoming Black. Turning sounds wrong. Especially with kind of my background in Black studies, and talking about Blackness as something that has always resisted, has always been. So I'm really interested in what is it like to become or to develop a personality kind of in the public health kind of realm, the psychology realm. Develop a personality in which you're becoming Black, your ego and your subjecthood is becoming Black, which really, for me, is kind of tapping into this long history of violence and of resilience, of post-traumatic growth, and all these different things. So what is it like to tap into that? Especially thinking about the college age and thinking about the fact that a lot of people come to college, and that is a time where, I know for me, that was a time where I felt Black, where I started to really identify as a Black individual. And so as a little tyke, I knew I was Black. I knew I had dark skin. I knew I was different than everybody. But what does that really mean? Especially being in a city like Atlanta, where it's predominantly Black. Like, this is the Black Mecca. It's a Black Mecca. It's a Black Hollywood. It is a place for the Black, the elite, the Black and the poor, the Black and the queer, the Black and the whatever. And so I'm really excited about that conversation. It's going to be a retreat in January, January 15th through the 17th. I am super excited about it. Last night was Take Back the Night, which was a phenomenal experience. I had never been to a Take Back the Night before in all of my years at Emory. And not only was it my first Take Back the Night, but I also read last night one of the anonymous readings. I also submitted a reading, so that was great as well. But it was very, very hard. And I usually think that I'm a very vulnerable person. And I can talk about, the things that have happened in my past and the things that happened in my childhood and whatever else. And it was incredibly, incredibly difficult for once to get up and talk about that. And that's something that I have not dealt with in a very long time, my experience with sexual violence. And so that was very, very interesting. Like, even when I was sitting, listening to the other stories go forth before mine, and just listening and just thinking about my story, thinking about how I was going to read it, being an actor, you don't just read things, like you have to read them. And just thinking about how I was going to read it, thinking about the words that I wrote, thinking about those experiences, and like I kept closing my eyes and I felt myself getting dizzy. Like I felt like I just was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So that was a very, very interesting experience. I'm still kind of like debriefing and kind of still like unpacking those emotions and those feelings. But that was both frightening and liberating in certain senses. It was hard. It was definitely hard to get up in front of people, and although it was under the guise of being anonymous, it's still like, yo, this is my story, and I'm talking about this, and this is not something that I've talked about before. This is not something that, and not to say that I've never talked about it, because I have, but yeah, it was very, very interesting to be in front of all these strangers and people that I know, people that I don't know, people that I work with, and to share that so openly and so freely, so poetically. So that was really interesting. So I'm still kind of like unpacking that. And I don't think that I would be in a place to share that necessarily if I wasn't a professional in the office. I think as a student, I always thought about, oh, I should do this. Like, I should go and talk about that. I should, but I never did it, and I'm not sure why. But I finally did it, and it happened, and it was a great event. Shout out to Wanda Swan, Andrew Rizzo. So yeah, that was an interesting experience.